welcome everyone to today's Thought Leadership series, where we get to dive into elevating your leadership presence. Now, to start with, we would love to see you on camera because the first step in ensuring that you have great leadership presence is actually being visible. And thanks very much, Leonie, for coming on screen there. Love to see everyone else as well, because your leadership presence is, as I mentioned, about being visible. And so we want to look today about how you can inspire confidence in others to follow you, rely on you, and know that you have the leadership capability to achieve great things. And it all starts with first actually looking deep inside of ourselves. Leadership presence, yes, it's what we project and it's what people see, but it starts internally. And so today we're going to cover a couple of key components around leadership presence. But first of all, I would like to see some interaction in the chat. And hi, Mel, great to see you popping your camera on there. Very, very good. So I'd love you to pop into the chat. What do you perceive as leadership or executive presence? I'd love to know. Pop them in the chat. Give us some answers here. What do you see as good leadership or executive presence? What are some of those components? Hi, Angie. Hi, Linda. Great to see you. What do you perceive as good leadership or executive presence? Walk the talk. Great, Angie. Yes, you need to be authentic in what you say. You need to obviously also deliver. Influence and authenticity, Leonie. Love it. Very, very good. Mal, guidance and influence. Karen, connection. Keep them coming. Leadership is about foreseeing the future. Yeah, very, very good. So we're going to dive into this world of leadership presence. But I want to share with you, I'm just going to show my screen, some benefits of leadership presence before we take a good deep dive into the three components we're going to share today. Beautiful. So on here, if we look at the first one here, is all about being able to broaden your horizons, open up more opportunities for yourself, create greater influence and impact and multiply it. You know, having great presence allows you to multiply the effect you have on this world and the impact that you can create. We can also look at the benefits beyond you. So by having great leadership presence, what impact do you have on other people and how do they respond because of the way you walk into a room, the way that you present yourself, the way that you connect with people? The next one here is about inspiring others and being able to allow them to go above and beyond and feel better about themselves, maybe achieve something greater than what they thought before. And finally here, self-fulfillment. You know, the greater presence we have, the greater fulfillment we have because we are able to achieve greater things because of it. Now, to take a look at presence, we first need to have a look at our confidence. So I'm going to take you for a bit of a journey here. We're going to go for a bit of a walk in a second here, and I'm going to take you over to the whiteboard. So I'm going to switch cameras. You're going to see a couple of camera modes here as well now. And so we're going to take a walk across to the whiteboard, and we're going to look at the house of confidence. So let's have a look at this. When we break down confidence, we need to look at it in both the internal confidence point of view, as well as also the external part. But we're mainly going to focus on internal right now. So as the whiteboard's getting set up for you, here we go. So the first part of our internal confidence that we like to look at is what we call the foundation. Okay, so this is your foundational confidence. And this is your level of no matter what, I'll be okay. It's that, and it takes inner work to develop at that, but no matter what, I'll be okay. Then we have the frame of the house. Okay, and this is your situational. So your situational is where your competence, your familiarity, the consistency you might do something. So your situational might be, okay, I'm really, really good. For me, prior to being a CEO, I was really good at triathlon. That was competence in one area. But as a CEO, when I first went into it, I was highly incompetent in a way. And so my situational confidence was low. So I had a very short house, so to speak. But then we have another aspect of our internal confidence, which is called our daily confidence. And our daily confidence can be affected by a number of different things. It might be your stress levels. It could be how much sleep you've had. It could be the food you've had. It might even be what someone said to you. Now, if you hang across to the neighbor, you step outside of your house and you talk to your neighbor and they say, hey, you've got this. You know, you do really, really well at this. This may boost your confidence. And so what we want to try and do is obviously increase our foundation, increase the situational, and then work on the daily aspects. And athletes are really, really good at this. For those who watch tennis, Novak Djokovic, you know, people either love him or hate him, but he has amazing daily confidence. And obviously he's got great situational, foundational. Now his daily confidence is focused around recovery, eating really well, meditation, being in the right mindset. So I want you to take into consideration here the foundational. No matter what, I'll be okay. And you need that to be really strong when it comes to your leadership presence. So let's go back to the main camera now. And let's take a little bit of a look inside what our external confidence may look like. So when we look at our internal confidence, it's what we feel. So what we feel is how we feel inside, what our self-confidence is, etc. And looking at that house of confidence in our daily, foundational, and our situational. But also our external confidence is what we show. So what we feel inside, what we show is external. And some people may see this as charisma, but I want you to think about external, what we show as both projecting and also inspiring confidence in others. Okay, so it's just a bit of an insight into the house of confidence and how we like to look at it. And in a few weeks' time, we're actually going to go deeper into confidence, and we're going to use that framework and take you through step by step how you can evaluate it, but also how you can improve each one of them. Okay, so just a slightly different view on the confidence point of view. Now, we've got our confidence, and as I said, we need to work on that foundational, but to elevate your executive presence, we need to know what your signature style is. So we're first going to, and what's unique about you. People, when they look at someone and go, you've got great executive presence, they will be able to identify what's unique in that person. So let's have a look now at a couple of different people from around the world, and we should know most of these people. And so I need your help here. So in the chat, I want you to pop in there. When you see each person, I want you to identify for me what is their unique signature style. So let's have a look at the first one here. Okay, who's this person? Oh, pop it in the chat. The first one here. Who's the first one? What do we notice about their unique signature style that allows them to stand out and have great presence? Okay, Leonie, smooth. What else? Who else do we have here? We've got Barack Obama. When we think about his executive style, we see empathy, calming, very good. Presentation, Angie. Yes, he's presented really well, like what he's wearing and dressed. Let's keep these coming. We've got a few more other people on the call. Love to hear from you as well. Knowledgeable, excellent. Let's look at number 2 here. Okay, most of you will be familiar with this person. She's just resigned as New Zealand Prime Minister. What do we notice in regards to Jacinda Ardern when we think about her executive style? We got compassion, empathy. Excellent. Family. Yes, she's very much a family person. Keep them coming in there. Let's look at the next person here, which for those who are into sport will know this person. So we got Michael Jordan. What do we know about Michael Jordan's unique executive style? He goes the extra mile. He certainly does. Mel, tough but high levels of empathy. Tanya, commitment. Fimon, resilience. James, committed. Excellent. Let's look at the next one here. Oh, going a little bit too fast. Okay, Oprah Winfrey. What is unique about Oprah Winfrey's style when it comes to her executive style, executive presence? Caring, Tanya. Charismatic, Leonie. Andrew, compassionate. Good to see you, Andrew. Ashish, calm. Mel, builds trust. Excellent. Okay, the next one. Lady Gaga, for those who love music. What do we know about Lady Gaga? What's unique about her? Innovation. Yes, very much so. Tanya, different, talented. Leonie, self-possessed. Angie, where's raw meat? Okay, so she's very unique. She stands out from the crowd. Now let's go to this one here. I had the beautiful opportunity to meet the Dalai Lama a few years ago. Incredible human being. Leonie, wise, calming, knowledgeable, inner peace, excellent, compassion. So as we can see, there are many different styles that we have. And I want you to think from your perspective, what is your unique style? And so I want you to think about it from two perspectives. So let's have a look here at two perspectives that are really important when it comes to your signature executive style. First one is internal. What do you want to be known for? In this world, in your time on this planet, what do you want to be known for? And secondly, we also need to think about externally, what are you known for? So what do other people know you for? Now, you're probably thinking here, how can we identify our unique signature executive style and what is unique to us from a leadership presence point of view? So here are 5 great steps to identify your unique, distinct qualities. So you may just want to watch this first and then maybe take a screenshot afterwards. And by the way, screenshot your life away today. Happy for you to take whatever you like. First is, when I am performing at my best, how would I describe myself? Okay, we're not going to get time right now. Normally when we do a bigger program, we would. But first one, how would you describe yourself when you're performing at your best? The second one here, when people give me compliments, what specifically do they notice? So what do they say about you? You're really calming and you're relaxed. You have a beautiful smile. I love the way that you take the time to listen to me. Okay, so what are those things that people say about you? Number 3, what situations do I move into a flow state with confidence and ease? So what are those situations where you find flow state happening? Now, the next two, the next one, you're going to need someone else to help you. And generally, we like to use a colleague and ask them the question, how have I been able to help you and what have you learned? It's a great question. How have I been able to help you and what have you learned? And then the final one here is 3 people. Ask 3 people to name 5 things you can count on me to do. So you can take a screenshot here. It's 5 really great ways to identify your unique executive qualities. And so my encouragement to you is to take some time, whether it be later on today or over the weekend or in the next couple of weeks, to take yourself through these 5 steps and really being able to identify that unique executive style. Okay, any questions so far? Just double check. No, we got lots of good things there. So yep, please feel free to pop in the chat any questions you have as we go through. So we've done a unique, your executive style. We're now going to look at executive impressions. And when it comes to executive impressions, I'm just going to focus on 3 key areas for today. So let's have a look here at what we find are super important when it comes to being able to come across with great executive impressions and ensuring you have really valuable leadership presence. So let's take a look at this. Okay, so the first one here is your body. So you think about when we looked at the 6 people earlier on, the Michael Jordans, the Barack Obamas, the Lady Gaga, the Oprah Winfrey, etc. How do they walk into a room? And I want to think for you, how do you walk into a room? What do people notice? Do people stop and take notice of you? Or do they keep doing what they're continually doing? I remember talking to Sam Cawthon, the co-founder of Speakers Institute Corporate, when he was speaking at a big conference with Bill Clinton. And he remembers that specific moment as Bill Clinton walked into the room and the hair stood up on everyone's neck and everyone turned around to view Bill Clinton. He had this really strong charisma and sense of identity and who he was, and that real deep self-foundational confidence of no matter what, I'll be okay. And that resonated around the room before he even spoke. And so the body, our body language as we walk in that presence is super important, along with the following 2 things, our voice and our breathing. 3 key components when it comes to executive presence. So let's dive deep into each one here. Let's have a look at body first. So from a body point of view, some things we've got do and don't here, but it's maybe more do more of and maybe avoid if possible. So the first one here is from a body perspective, we want to avoid swinging and swaying. Okay. If you watch me and I'm presenting and I'm moving around a lot, it doesn't come across that well and it's quite distracting. Okay. But what we do want to do is stand tall with really good posture. Even think about being online. You can see from my belly button upwards, I'm filling the frame with my head just down from the top and I'm holding a really good space, which is important for leadership presence. Okay, too much movement. So using your hands too much, moving around the room too much, too fast can sometimes affect your executive impressions. So we want to try and focus a bit more on less movement. Executive impressions, we want to avoid having lack of control of body. So it's kind of all over the place. So rather than being kind of tall with good posture, we move and we're not really sure what's happening. It just kind of happens and we're all over the place. Versus radiating confidence because we're able to stand tall and hold ourselves really grounded. Let's have a look now at our voice. So from a voice perspective, what do we want to avoid and what do we want to do more of? Okay, from an avoid, we want to avoid rushing and speaking really fast and not pausing. We want to vary it. So sometimes speak fast, so we get excited and we love what we're doing. Other times, slow right down, allow everyone to clearly understand every single word and make sure it comes across with impact. Okay, so variety. Avoid using filler words, those ums, those ahs, those ands, those buts, those ifs, if we, etc. We hear them a lot. We need to be very aware of ourselves and be conscious of, are we using filler words versus pausing and being measured when we speak. Avoid mumbling, so not really opening our mouth, and it's kind of a little bit hard to hear because we're not really clearly articulating our words, and it gets a little bit distracting because we're not really able to hear. Versus authority, where we open our mouth and we speak with clarity and conviction from deep inside our belly. Okay, so that's voice. And if you maybe want to take a screenshot of that one, I'll just give you a couple of seconds. Let's go. I'll go back quickly to the body one so people can grab that as well. Everyone got it? 3, 2, 1, and I'll go back to the other one. There we go. If anyone wanted to grab the body one. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're now going to move forward to breathing. Now, breathing wise, you can have a massive control of the room. When we think about who holds the power in the room, if we put 20 CEOs in the room who on paper hold the same level of authority. The one who have the most power and influence in that room is generally the one who has the lowest heart rate. And so we want to think about how do we lower our pulse? And we do that through breathing. And we want to breathe deep inside our belly button. So deep down here, when we breathe in, we want that belly button to fill up like a balloon. When we breathe out, it shrinks back in. If we feel our chest rising, we will send off the stress receptors. So if we breathe high, it sends off the stress receptors. So we want to stay low because that triggers the recovery receptors, and therefore you hold good energy. And when it comes to lowering your pulse, we want to breathe deep and slow. So breathe in through your nose. Let that belly button fill up, and slowly out through your mouth. And by lowering your, slowing and deepening your breathing, you will lower your pulse. And as you lower the pulse, you then get to control the energy in the room. Okay, I have a newborn baby, as Rain said. She's only 2.5 weeks old. When she gets stressed and agitated, I bring her really close to my belly and I slow down my breathing. And that actually starts to shift the energy in Aroha, and she starts to relax and calm down. So it's amazing. You don't have to have physical touch, but just by being calm and controlled, you will shift the energy in the room. Okay, so those are 3 components of executive impressions. We had body, we had voice, and we had breathing. 3 key components that will help support your leadership presence. Now let's dive into the 3rd component we want to touch today, and that is called projecting gravitas, or even projecting confidence. So it's what people see in you. And so a couple of key tricks here, because it's quite in depth, but I do want to touch on a couple of key ones here that are really, really important. So when it comes to gravitas, that way that people see you, and perceive you, and that confidence and trust they have in you because of how you're coming across. We're now going to focus a bit more on what we say outside and as well as the non-verbal communication of the body, the voice, and the breathing as well. So let's have a look at this really, really good formula when it comes to gravitas. So the first component is here, fewer words. Second one, less movement. And third, comfortable smile. Now, for those who live in Australia, it's not the Scott Morrison smile when he's trying to be, when he's talking about something negative. It is just a really soft, relaxed jaw, just a really light warmth smile. You don't want a cheesy smile, just a relaxed, warmth smile when you are speaking. Because if you are warm, if you relax the jaw, which happens when you do a comfortable smile, you'll relax other people around you. But plus, you also need to add the following 2 key things. One is pause. And the second one is to remember to breathe deeply. Pausing allows you to come across more intelligent. So the longer you pause, the more intelligent you sound, because it gives people time to digest what you're saying. Now, today's been quite fast-paced because I wanted to get through a little bit more information. But on the key points, you would have noticed I slowed down, I paused, and I stayed nice and calm and centered because I was breathing deep. Okay, so grab a screenshot of that if you like. And the most important thing to remember here as we go to finish up on gravitas is the fewer words, the higher status. Lots of words, especially filler words, low status. So if we think about the most influential speakers that we've ever heard, the people that we hear and we just like mesmerized by what they say, one, they speak in simple language. And you'll notice that great leaders don't talk that much. They say few words. but what they say has huge impact and great meaning. So I want you to observe those people out there like the Nelson Mandelas, and people like that who, when they speak, it's slow, it's easy to understand, so they sound sophisticated because it's simple language that we can understand, there's no barrier, and they come across with beautiful depth and control. So that's our leadership presence that we're sharing today. Obviously, we can go a lot deeper into this, and we do with our programs, but really, really important to think about how can you focus on really understanding and honing your executive leadership style, developing your executive impressions and always improving on them. We all need to continually improve on those, especially that pause, that breathing, and that slow and controlled movements. And then how can we come across with and project great confidence through less words, less movement, and a beautiful, comfortable smile while you pause and breathe. So I hope you've enjoyed that session today. Thank you to everyone for joining us.